So again here, at the top of this page, we're looking back at the problem that said I had 8 songs, distinct songs that I could choose from, and I wanted to play 3 of them. Again, here we're assuming order matters because playing country first is not the same as playing country second, so the order matters in which you play the songs. If it's order matters and there's no repetition, you want to use permutations, and they worked out the problem that we looked at earlier, 8 permute 3, or is one way that you could pronounce it. So 8 being the total, 3 being what you want. I do not need you guys to do any of this by hand. I straight up want you guys to use a calculator here. So how are you going to use your calculator? Using the TI-30XS that I recommended for class. You're going to use this procedure right here. First thing you want to do is enter the first number, which is the total number, 8 here. Then you hit the PRB button. Then you hit the number 1 to select MPR, or you could just hit enter. Then you type in the second number, then you hit enter. So what did my keystrokes look like on my calculator? It looked like this right here. 8, the total number, PRB, enter, 3, enter. This is what my screen looked like, and I got a total of 336. Notice 8 times 7 times 6 is 336. 8 times 7 times 6 is 336 here. So, one way to do it would be to type in the numbers, which works if it's small, but an easier way to do it, no matter the size of the numbers, is using the calculator notation. So again, when do we use permutation? When order matters and no repetition. Permutation, order matters, no repetition. Let's read this next example. It says a university tennis team consists of 6 players who are ranked from 1 through 6. If a tennis coach has 10 players from which to choose, how many different ranked tennis teams can a coach select? So I want to break this down, kind of like we did the previous problems in a previous chapter. What does each of these numbers stand for? So this number 10 right here, this is the total number of players that they have. This number 6 players, that's how many that he wants to play, or she. And then I see the word ranked. Ranked here to me means order matters. So what I have right now is order matters. A player can't play twice, so it has to be distinct players, so no repetition. And I have order matters, no repetition, how many total and how many I want. Okay, so order matters and no repetition tells me use permutations, MPR. Order matters and repetition, no repetition. Now I have what I want, or the total, and what I want. So I'm going to simply set this up as total would be 10. I'm going to hit that MPR button in my calculator using probability and hitting enter. And then I'm going to put 6. And when I put 10 MPR 6 into my calculator, please do so now, I'm getting a total of 151,200 total different ways. I want you to realize how big these numbers are. This is an absolutely huge number, but it is the proper number. Because remember, if you go first, if you're ranked first or if you're ranked second is a total different placement. Well, they do that for every single player for 10 players. Let's move on to the next example. Next example says, a college golf team consists of 5 players who are ranked from 1 through 5. So it's ranked, I'm thinking order matters. Ranked, order matters. Okay. If a coach has 8 players from which to choose, how many different ranked golf teams can the coach select? So it's 8 players. That's my total amount here. And 5 is how many I'm ranking, so that's what I want. So order matters, no repetition. That tells me use permutations. It's always the total first. The total number was 8. How many did I want? I wanted 5. So I put 8 MPR 5 into my calculator. Please do so now. I'm getting 6,720. All right, let's move on to that next one. In 2015, 18 horses were entered into the Kentucky Derby. How many different finishes of first through fourth place were possible? So it's a Kentucky Derby, it's a race, and they're talking about places. So this to me means order matters. We look at this and it says 18 horses were entered, so that's the total number. And then it says how many different first through fourth places, so that means you want 4. Okay, order matters, no repetition, tells me use NPR. It's always the total number first, the bigger number first, which is 18. I hit that NPR button in my calculator, then I put a 4. Please do so now in your own calculator. 18, hit that PRB button, hit enter, then hit the number 4. I'm getting a total of 73,440 distinct different ways of finishing first through fourth place. Again, on this page, every single time I read a question, here's what I'm determining. Does order matter? Is there repetition? What's the total number? And how many do I want? If I can determine that order does matter and that there's no repetitions, I know I'm using permutations. I simply put the total number first, the larger number first, what I want last, the smaller number last, plug it into my calculator, and that's going to give me the answer every time. You do not need to use the formula. Simply telling me how many the total is, how many you want is, stating that order matters, so you're using NPR, that's enough work for me.